There's going to always be negative people who enter your life in some way, shape, or form. They're toxic, and what they can do is damage you mentally and emotionally. So there are signs that you can identify that lets you know someone is toxic. My name is Dr. Patton. Let's get at it. These individuals are constantly negative. They frequently complain, they criticize, and they always focus on the negative of no matter what the situation is. Even though that situation may have a lot of silver linings, they will overlook those linings and just go back and focus on the negative. They will drain the energy out of those individuals around them. Another thing about toxic people, they're masters of manipulation. These individuals, they use guilt, blame, emotional manipulation to control others to get their way. This is one of their strong points, because if they feel they have control over you and manipulate you, they can get you to believe what you want them to believe. Another thing about toxic people, they have a lack of accountability. They rarely take responsibility for their own actions. They often deflect the blame onto others. They refuse to acknowledge their role in the conflict. They don't identify what they did wrong. What they did wrong is irrelevant in their mind, but what you did wrong or what made the situation bad revolves around you and only you. That is what they do. They have no accountability for their actions, and everything is your fault. Another thing about toxic people, it is chronic drama. They thrive on creating chaos and drama around them. They often put themselves in the center of attention, and they like to stir up conflicts. And so if they're the center of attention and they stir up conflicts, they'll stir up conflicts with the individuals on the left, and they'll stir up conflicts with the individuals on the right. And somehow the left and right are going at it when all the drama was created by the individual in the middle, that toxic individual. But then in the midst of all that conflict that they created, somehow they're gonna find a way oftentimes to be peacemaker, to make themselves look good, like they mitigated the drama. That is a sign of a toxic individual. So make sure you pay close attention to that. Another thing about toxic individuals, they have no respect for boundaries. They may disregard your personal boundaries, and they pressure you into engage in activities or conversations that you're uncomfortable with or that you don't want to engage in. You have those sensitive topics that you may not want to talk about. It could be religion, it could be politics, or what have you. But these individuals try to egg it on and create some drama and go inside your personal boundaries to create more conflict. That is the life of a toxic individual. Also, something to pay attention to is that passive aggressive behavior. Instead of addressing issues directly, they may express dissatisfaction indirectly, leaving you confused and frustrated. I don't want to address the issue, but I want to talk about how dissatisfied I am with this issue. So they don't want to get to the root of the problem. They want to talk about what got you there, or they don't want to talk about what you got you there, but they want to talk about the dissatisfaction of how they feel instead of addressing the bigger issue. That passive aggressive behavior, so you need to pay attention to that. Another thing about toxic individuals, and some of you, if not all of you, have seen this, jealousy and competition. These individuals exhibit jealousy towards your success or happiness, often trying to undermine or belittle your achievements. In other words, what you did and what you accomplished is not that big of a deal in their mind, or they downplay it, or they'll come up with something that they did that kind of overshadows what you did. Oh, well, you did this and accomplished this, but I did this and I accomplished that. So they try to overshadow you in your achievements, and it kind of makes you feel belittled in a sense. And another thing, they have the inability to celebrate others. They struggle and have with that genuine happiness for others. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you succeed. So they downplay any positive or criticize any positive news that you may have. You may got a new job. And it's like, well, your job is not that great. It don't pay enough. So they always find that negative lining in there instead of focus on the silver lining and be happy for you that you have a new job. Constant, frequent arguments. So interacting with these individuals often lead to some sort of confrontation or arguments, leaving you feel drained or upset. So these individuals like, you know what? I don't want to be around this individual because again, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to suck the life out of you. And that's not what you want to deal with. You don't want to deal with no one sucking the life out of you. So I totally get it. And another thing to consider, those isolation tactics. They may attempt to isolate you from friends or family, which you may know somebody who has maybe a significant other in their life, who don't want them talking to their family, or whatever the case may be. They don't want that person in their life. So by isolating you, it makes you feel relevant to them and diminishing your support network. That means your family, your friends, the individuals who support you and will tell you the truth when something's wrong, they don't want you talking to them. They want to be your only resource. That is what toxic people do. So you need to pay attention to these signs. They may help you identify toxic individuals as they enter your life, or toxic individuals who's already in your life. If you focus on those, you can identify those individuals and take appropriate steps to protect your well-being, because your well-being is most important than anything. I'm Dr. Patton. Until next time.